My name's Nadine, and I had a stroke. I had a carotid artery in my neck, which I understand just meant a clot had been travelling around and had just stopped, and therefore stopped the oxygen to the brain. And this was 7 years ago. Of course, it was devastating because it was completely out of the blue. I was working in the library at the time, and it was a Saturday morning, and I was getting ready to go to work, just brushing my teeth, and without any warning whatsoever, I just collapsed, as people do if they have a stroke. Unfortunately, my husband was in the house and rang for an ambulance, although, strangely, the only things I remember is him tapping me on the face, saying, "Don't leave me," and me saying, "Don't call the ambulance." You know, we have this silly thought that we don't want the ambulance coming to the house. But of course, that was the best thing that happened, because the sooner I had oxygen, the less damage was done. I was, as I say, very fortunate in having 2 adult sons and my husband who helped me through an awful depression and shock, and of course everything that everybody else feels when this happens, because it's completely out of the blue. But if I've ever come to terms with it, of course, but when I came to terms with all the problems, I found that a great saving grace was to set myself a little challenge, whether it was something silly like getting from the house to the car on my own, being taken to the supermarket, but then finding a trolley that I liked and throwing the stick in the trolley and walking around the supermarket on my own, buying the most simple thing to make everything as easy as possible. And so that was another little challenge. I found this was the best thing for me, to set myself a challenge.
Do you have any advice for anyone living with a similar condition?
To do this, and something that was taken away, of course, was my driving licence, which not only could I not go back to work, you can imagine in a library, I couldn't lift books or even turn a page unless I'm sitting at a desk with one hand. I can't do that. So my big thing was to get back to driving. And something I have found which is most helpful is an MS treatment centre in Southwick, where I go, where I've made friends with people, and I have found that I've got more and better advice from people who have been in a similar situation with whatever their disability is, suggesting that I go to the Queen Elizabeth Centre, which is a driving centre in Surrey, which managed to get me back to driving with an adapted car. So that has been, in fact, even getting here today, I've managed to drive myself, and so that is a great achievement. But as I say, however small the achievement, whether it's managing to put toothpaste on your toothbrush on your own, however small the achievement, be conscious and tell yourself that you've achieved something. That is very positive and a great thing to do, and it helps other people when you tell them, I think.